I'm here in Santa Monica to do the advanced course in that building right there. There's a lot of secrecy around the techniques themselves, so I'm not sure what I can actually tell you about them. But I wanted to do the video anyway to get used to this whole impromptu vlogging thing. And I get the confidentiality of it. I mean, it's a pretty expensive course, and no one would pay for it if it could be had for free on YouTube. They have to support their non-profit organization, after all. I'm pretty sure I can't record in there, though. So have fun with my mom, okay, baby? And I'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll see you in a few hours, okay, baby? Un bisou. Un bisou. Love you, baby. I'm going to take the first advanced course in Transcendental Meditation, the popular meditation program developed by Maharishi Mahesh. The first advanced course is supposedly a nighttime technique done before sleep, whatever that may be. Now, I've done other forms of Buddhist meditations, and in the West, it's popular to refer to all of this as mindfulness. Mindfulness is pretty big in the US right now. Most people, even if they don't practice it, would understand what it refers to. So what is mindfulness? That wasn't very advanced at all. In fact, it was very simple. The purpose of Transcendental Meditation is, as the name implies, to transcend ordinary thought into a state of consciousness different from the three we normally experience: waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. We do so by mentally repeating a mantra and effortlessly letting our minds return to it whenever distracted, until the meditation becomes subtler and subtler. But it's supposedly not mindfulness meditation. Both Transcendental Meditation, TM for short, and mindfulness meditation seem to both have the same goals though. So what's the difference really? Now, what I mean by mindfulness meditation is a form of meditation in which you are aware moment by moment of your thoughts, emotions, and sensations. But you don't try to control them. You let them arise, but you don't cling to them. You let them take their course. And this supposedly has the opposite effect of allowing us to not get lost in thought or caught up in emotion. That's the premise of mindfulness meditation, I think. But it's hard to not get lost in thought. And that's why there are techniques to concentrate on something like a mantra or to our breathing, to single-pointedly focus on something that we can easily return to when distracted. The thing is, Transcendental Meditation writings distinguish mindfulness practice as inferior to their type of mantra meditation, touting their own as an absolutely effortless practice. But that may be a bit unfair and dismissive of mindfulness, if not a misinterpretation of it. Both TM and mindfulness can be that same effortless effort approach of not being goal-directed, not striving, of having no gaining ideas while doing it, of developing a choiceless awareness, being attentive and yet detached to all thoughts and emotions that arise. Maybe mindfulness is a better word for that state of being aware but detached. To be fully aware moment by moment must mean to not be attached to any particular thought, sensation, or emotion. To not get lost in thought or carried away by our emotions as we normally do. Sam Harris describes mindfulness as simply a state of open, non-judgmental, and non-discursive attention to the contents of consciousness, whether pleasant or unpleasant. But to me, the TM approach, with a simple and effortless use of the mantra, is a good one for getting to this state of consciousness. All we have to do is mentally repeat a mantra and let ourselves naturally come back to it when we notice we've lost it. But that can also be the same as a Buddhist approach of focusing on the breath. The main difference between the two may have to do with their different religious origins, TM from the Hindu Vedanta tradition and mindfulness from Buddhism. But both are intended to help us transcend thought to directly experience a deeper, ultimate reality. Are the realities from these two different traditions the same? I believe they are. I believe they both describe the same thing, but just not in the same way. A popular form of Buddhist meditation here in the US is insight meditation, or vipassana from the Pali word of the Theravada Buddhist tradition. But what is it an insight of? From what I've listened to and read, one of the insights that can be had with this approach is the Buddhist insight of no self. The insight that what we may conceptualize as a self can't really be defined and pinned down as a permanent, independent, single reality. Because all of our experiences, our thoughts, perceptions, and emotions are anything but permanent, independent, or single. So the self is illusory and ultimately empty. We may relatively experience a separate self, but the absolute reality of who we are is empty. Now, I know there's a whole philosophical debate around this, but to me, it seems to be the same as the Vedanta concept of the absolute reality being an infinite reality. Emptiness may be the same as everythingness. Because after all, what is emptiness but the capacity for everything? Likewise, what would everything be from our perspective? I mean, truly everything, where no other thing is excluded. All things taken together would be no specific thing in particular, or no thing, nothing. But many Buddhist teachers I've listened to prefer to use the word emptiness instead of nothingness or void. It's to preempt nihilism, or a belief that there is no ultimate reality, and therefore nothing meaningful to what we call reality. Both Vedanta and Buddhism would agree that the absolute reality is not nothing. Instead, it is no thing. It is no specific thing that can be objectified. The absolute reality can't be defined or even imagined. It's an ineffable truth that can only be directly experienced. But even saying that isn't quite right, because the direct experience of it wouldn't be an experience as we normally define it, as a subject with an object of attention. The reality here is a non-dual one, beyond a subject and object split. But then again, this is all just speculation for me because I haven't directly experienced this myself in meditation. I mean, maybe I have, but it doesn't do me any good if I don't realize it. For now, this is all just stuff that I've read or heard about. But maybe it's more than speculation. It's a faith, because after all, I do believe this is possible. And in the meantime, I'm going to keep up my practice. I'm going to keep meditating. I want to be consistent with my twice-a-day Transcendental Meditation sessions. And I'll keep you updated on my progress. Like and comment if this resonated with you, and subscribe below to follow me on my journey. See you next time.